Friends, welcome to the Pacific Coast Highway. By now, you and I have already gone through a tech review and a full first drive review of this, the 2017 Mercedes Benz E300 4MATIC. Now, instead of going for a drive, why don't you and I go for a ride? So the important distinction there is the verb, drive versus ride. And the reason being is you and I have already done a tech review, a full first drive review. Now let's do some sort of a demo, a test, whatever you want to call it, on this drive pilot assist. And there's not just one assist system. There is the drive pilot assist. There's a parking thing. Frankly, we're not that excited about the parking thing because it's disabled in the US. It can't do that cool flash thing, looking old 450 SL with the small bumpers. Very cool. And the blue plate. That's what you get here in California. Anyway, I digress. It doesn't do that cool thing where you press the button and the car just goes away into the garage, so we're not going to waste our time today on that. So with that, there is a stock over here, and if you have driven a Mercedes Benz since that car came out, you know that the cruise control systems are set with these stocks. Same deal here. It's very much like Distronic Plus. To set it, pull it towards you, and I've got it set at 50 miles an hour. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the speed because the speed limit here is actually 45. This is not a place you want to come to in speed because it's not an if you will get caught, it's a when you will get caught. And just so you know, it's a minimum of like a $400 summons. So with that, let's get back to our drive pilot assist. So notice the car is driving itself. But before we get into this thing here, let's talk about this stereo camera. Now, we talked about that in the tech review as well as in many S-Class episodes. And basically, this is one of the key, I would say, points of input. And one of the things we want to deal with here is set the sensitivity of the system, because that's still driver controlled, even though the car is driving itself. And you can adjust it anywhere from 1 to 6 car lengths. So let's look at this. I'm at right now 1 car length. Now I'm down to 1 car length, 2, 3, and I can go all the way up to 6. So in the case of this demonstration, let's go middle of the road. Let's go to 3 car lengths. And I'm still at 45 miles an hour, so let's let the car drive itself. So obviously I don't have my feet on the brake or the gas. Car is going, as you can see, 45 miles an hour here. It's staying within the lines. So it's the stereo cameras, the cameras on the mirrors, the radar system in the front, the radar system in the back. There is a camera in the back, but it basically is a pop-out camera, mainly for rear view. I don't think it does a hell of a lot. I'd have to speak to more engineers about that. Okay, now we've proven the thing can drive itself, but the thing that we talked about in the full first drive review, really the tech review, was how long can this thing drive itself? Because in the S-Class, we drove that for up to 15 seconds, as well as that E-Class convertible in Denmark. Both of them were limited, meaning the engineers cut it off, or really I should say the lawyers cut it off, after 15 seconds. Because that's really a very semi-autonomous driving system that I would argue is more of a party trick for your friends than actually working for you to basically do something else while the car drives. This is more a level 3. So with that, let's put this level 3 thing to the test. I brought my fancy-dancy high-tech timing device, a stopwatch. Let's start that there, hand off the wheel. And there are people there we don't want to kill. The car is driving by itself 45 miles an hour. So not exactly high speed, not exactly low speed. We're at 11 seconds, 12 seconds, 13 seconds. So about now, 15 seconds, we've officially passed the S-Class. So now this is a more autonomous system than an S-Class or that system we had in the E-Class back in Denmark. Car is driving itself. We're going down a hill. First alert, it's asking me to put my hand on the wheel. In the center of the gauges as well as in the head-up display, 1 audible alert. Now watch what happens here. 2 audible alerts. We're at 39, 40 seconds. 3 audible alerts. Now it's starting to get more annoying. Now watch what happens. Notice the speed starts to drop. Speed is starting to drop. I got no one in back of me. We're at 51 seconds. Hazard lights come on. The car is coming to a stop by itself. So it comes to a complete stop on its own. Now you can see why I did this in PCH way out far, almost Ventura County. Distance pilot is now off. Let's get going. I got a big truck behind me, so let's put our foot into it. So the system went, okay, we went what, 40, 45 seconds completely on its own. If I had put my hand on the wheel even for a couple of seconds, it would continue. So let's actually try that. Let's resume. So we're going too fast. Let's go back to 45 miles an hour. We're back on drive pilot assist. The car is going to go around a turn. Now let's put aside the stopwatch. Let's stop, reset. And I can do this because the car is driving itself. I know many of you complain when I do this kind of stuff. So here we go. There's a big truck that's going to pass us. We're at 2 seconds. Now it's going to get to, let's let it do one audible alert. And while we're here, look at the beautiful ocean. It is just stunning. This is why you live in the California Republic, by the way. Okay, so 45 miles an hour. It's giving me the first alert. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand on the wheel. So it can sense that my hand is on the wheel. So we've extended now 20 seconds was the first alert. Now, one thing I want you guys to know, this is not like a hard and fast rule. Like, it doesn't specifically say we're going to do a first alert at 20 seconds. It depends on the situation. Like, I've had this thing on the freeway. I drove this thing down to Orange County, and it went a little bit longer before it gave me the alert. Now, hands off the wheel again. So we're at 44 seconds. Only one alert. And then one thing that the engineers did tell me was the system is designed to completely shut off after 60 seconds. Now let's turn this off. This is one of these instances where I want to see if the light actually changes here. Because now we're getting into some traffic here. Let's see what it does. I'm going to put my hands on the wheel again to keep this drive pilot thing going. We've got some traffic coming up here. Actually, you know what? Let's speed up and see if we can force the system. Of course, we speed up, and that's when we have the LA County Sheriff pass us. 2 LA County Sheriff. Of course. Okay, this is, by the way, while we're doing this thing, I can tell you about Zuma Beach here. This is a stunning place to come if you want to see the California beaches. And just up the road, some of the best surfing. Oh, Buick Regatta. Love Buick Regattas. Some of the best surfing in the area is just up the road here. Hands on the wheel. Okay, you know what? I think this is the time we need to try the next and probably greatest party trick with this truck up here. I want to get closer to this Toyota minivan. So with that, hands off the wheel, and this is my favorite party trick. Press and hold the turn signal for 2 seconds, and look what it does. It automatically changes lanes. Automatically. So it comes back out. Now look what happens if I try to do the same trick with a truck there. Or nothing. Okay, so let's actually just let go. So let's go back into regular, normal person driving mode. Okay, now we're passing the truck. Let's do the same trick. Press and hold for 2 seconds. And the thing will change lanes. That gave me the alert halfway through that turn. Still did the actual lane change itself. Now, one thing that's interesting, notice up and down the road, you see the signs here. There's an additional pilot assist system that will read the actual traffic signs. So let's say you've got this thing, I don't know, set to 90 miles an hour. Not that you would. Oh, we're gonna get a light up here. Not that you would. The car, if you have it set up in the system to read the speed limit, what it'll do is it'll change the speed setting to the speed limit. It's actually very tricky. First couple of times you got to get used to it, but it's a very trick little system. Invariably, the time, oh, we just passed this infinity. It didn't hit the infinity. That's wonderful. Okay, let's put our hand back on the wheel. Now we're going up a hill. Invariably, when you want a red light, you never get one. Of course, in life, this just has to happen. Okay, so we're going to get past, or hopefully we get up to this minivan. We can see what this system does. Notice the car, it's doing its usual cruise control bit. And by the way, while we're doing this, I'm getting a massage and I have my butt being cooled while I'm demonstrating this to you guys. Okay, we've got another green light. This never happens. Oh, but the minivan is slowing down. Notice the car is maintaining that distance. And even in lower speed traffic, I'm passing the titanium. Oh, see, I can't trust it. Like, I want it, see, the car actually just saved us, but I just, you want to put your hands on the wheel, but you can't, and it's like, you're not used to it. Forget about the lawyers or Mercedes engineers. You are not used to it. Okay, now we finally have a red light. I am not putting my hands on the wheel or the brakes. This is a hell of a lot of trust, especially with the minivan from Utah in front of us. And the car is coming to a complete stop. Now look what happens. So I put my hands back on the wheel. The car is now at a complete stop. But to continue, if the car, actually that wasn't technically a complete stop now, was it? Now, if that was a complete stop, I would have to put my foot on, or just tap the gas, and it would resume back to the speed that you set. But being it wasn't completely at a standstill, the car then can resume itself. So basically, this is kind of, we've experienced this before in other Distronic Plus systems, and this is, other car companies do this where it'll creep in traffic by itself, but you have to drive it. Here, the car will actually maneuver through the lanes. So let's try this trick again. Let's let the Altima pass us. Man, we can't get around this truck, can we? Okay, he's arguing. Now, we're not going to be able to pass here because, see, look what happens. If I press and hold the turn signal for 2 seconds, the car is not, see, it's giving me an audible alert because there's traffic. It won't do it. It senses the car. So let's let this other car go by, and let's see how much space. Notice I'm going to give it a couple car lengths because remember, we dictated 3 car lengths. Now let's try the trick again, and it's changing lanes. Oh, and we got a yellow light. Let's try this thing again. Okay, so now we got the Ford. Again, this is super hard to do, and the speed is like, oh, okay, it's slowing down. Thank God. Okay, it's a little slow on that one, and that was because of my setting. If I had that thing up to 6 car lengths, it would have been a little bit more fluid. Okay, again, we're not coming to a full stop. The car picks up speed again, and it's trying to find the lanes here. Not perfect. I gotta tell you, it's not 100%. I mean, it's cool, but it's not 100% perfect. It's staying in the lanes, and it slows you down a little bit as it bounces off and tries to find the lanes in cases like this when it's trying to accelerate a little bit. Okay. Okay, this is very nerve-wracking getting close to the truck, but passes, no problem. Whew! Okay, I think I have demonstrated enough for you because I'm sweating bullets doing this. It's a wonderful little technology, but my brain is still not trained for this. So with that, I want to turn this around to you guys and leave you with really a very important question about this. Like, here we are playing around with this thing, and effectively, this is one of the best ones we've seen with this whole, come on, this is the coolest party trick going, the changing the lanes thing. I scared the crap out of my friends with this, by the way, when we were driving down to Orange County. But this is the best one we've seen thus far. There's basically this and the Tesla at this point. But even with these cool technologies that all work in conjunction with each other, it's still a very fancy party trick. So the question I want to leave you with here is, do you think it's useful in today's world? Like, would you want to have this in a car today? Would you use this in a car today? And don't just tell me yes or no. Actually, what would you do with it? Like, would you use this for commuting, or would you actually pull out your phone and oh, I'm gonna check my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is, while the car is driving itself for up to 60 seconds? I want to know behaviors here, so let me know in the comments below, or via our social media, MotoManTV, all one word, MotoManTV, all one word, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And with that, I want to leave you with 2 things. Number 1, we're back to that minivan with the Utah plates that I'm getting nervous about. We're getting close to. Well, actually, number 1, it's download our fancy new mobile application, which you can see here, which you can get for free on Apple iTunes or Google Play, and it's new and improved. So if you had some problems with Instagram, it is now fixed, so make sure you check that out. And number 2, a fun fact, actually more of a party trick. On the S-Class, you can control the seat over there as if it was a limousine. Well, they finally put that into the E-Class, and I actually played this little party trick on my friends. It's more of a torture trick on your friends, because if you press the button here, you can move that seat forward and backward. But it's also got this very cool little extension to the thigh support here. It's not quite the fully adjustable length of the seat cushion like in the S-Class, but if you notice, what it'll do is it'll extend out the bottom of the seat cushion in the front. Very slick, actually, and quite comfortable. Anyway, until I see you next time, hopefully me driving the car. Bis später.